So now that we have talked about uh, our spiritual guides and our sacred ancestors, now we're going to move on into just making ourselves clean and whole. It starts with the body. Don't get me wrong, it starts with the physical body, but right at this point, I would like to talk about our homes, our living quarters. We need to do a spiritual cleansing on our homes. If you have some unwelcome spirits in your home, you're going to want to use some salt for this one. Now, in one of the teachings that I'm reading about right at this moment, they use bay rum. I've never used bay rum. I'm not familiar with it, but I heard that you can get it from a like a health food store. And what you're going to have to do the spiritual cleansing, and I'm going to do this real quick because they don't give you any time with these videos. You want to go out and buy your brand new broom. You want to get your bay rum, and you want to get you a brand new mop. Now, if you got carpet, you would like to use your broom. If you got hardwood floors, you want to use a mop. But what you're going to do is you're going to get these unwelcome, like if you're feeling depressed and all down and out, and you're feeling like, oh, things are just not going my way. A lot of times it's not just only your physical body, but your living quarters, and you want to clean that out. You got a lot of hell going on in your house, a lot of cussing and fussing. Your magic ain't working right. You want to clean your house, and this is how you do it. You want to, because I'm working on mine right now. Boy, am I working on mine right now. And you'd be surprised, that dust has a lot of negative energy inside of it. It really does. And it not only have you sneezing and feeling uncomfortably physically, but spiritually you won't be well either. But anyway, you want to start in the four corners of your room. You want to put that bay rum on your broom, your brand new broom, and you want to put it in the corner, in the four corners. Then you want to take all of that in the four corners, and you want to bring it in the center of the room, and you want to sweep. Okay, y'all, please excuse me. I was talking all the time with my amulet hanging off of me, so pardon me. That wasn't good. You want to make sure it stays on at all times. That's your protection there. Well, it's just whatever it is to you, because really these are props, really. So if you feel like, oh, I'm protected with nothing on, that's fine, So I don't want to, anybody to think that, you just necessarily have to have it. But, I just want you to know that when you're wearing any type of form of jewelry or whatever, you don't realize it, but it's a form of protection. Now, that's what they did in the ancient times. Now I would like to talk about, now that we got the house clean, we've also found a technique for cleansing our thoughts and our mind of negative things so we can start attracting the things we want to come to us. And we also have our guides in place now. I mean, that's almost completing a circle right there, because I mean, it's basically all you need. And you're going to make sure that you're giving reverence to these spirits, because they don't necessarily have to be there. They don't have to come. They don't have to be worried. I mean, they really don't. And so we got all of that out of the way. Well, now we can start working on things that we may just really want to just really dive into. And some of those things are like, for me, from the things that I do, and you may not necessarily like to do it, I like to create the dolls, the soul dolls, the spirit dolls. Some people call them voodoo dolls or whatever, because, now for me, my dolls all have spirits in them. And I know each spirit of each doll. I know the tragic circumstances of each doll. And they all serve different purposes. Some dolls are dolls of prosperity. Some dolls are dolls of healing. I've had most of my healing dolls have died in kind of like a tragic way, but they didn't become ghosts. They became spirits that come to help and to rescue and to heal. And one in particular that I have, she's a she doll now, but she used to be a man. The man died at 18 years old in New Orleans. We took my doll, to New Orleans, and she was there with me to see Marie Laveau. And I was able to offer an offering to Marie Laveau, And when I brought my doll there, my doll began to take on um, this this thing. I don't know what it was. It's this thing. It began to move, and it began to talk to me and everything like that. And then that's when I knew something was special about that particular doll. And it was a time period when I was kind of like down a little bit, and that doll came to my rescue. And so I want to get on the herbs. It's a particular herb that I use when I want to go places, because I am like any other witch. I do ride and I go places. I really do. And I want to get into all of that. But anyway, with this particular doll, I was able to actually visualize and see that doll in the spiritual realm. And it turned out it was a black guy, and he was 18 years old, and he died in the flood. He died in the flood. Yes, he did. I have the whole story in one video. I will let you know how he died. But he was an African American guy. He had dreadlocks and everything. He was 18 years old, and he passed away. He was trying to get on the rooftop, and he was like pushed away in the flood. And I'm sorry. I hate to bring that up for a lot of people who are still grieving or what have you. But one of my particular dolls had possessed the spirit of this particular young man. And I won't call any names or anything like that. But she, I'm sorry, is a doll of healing. And she actually has come to my rescue many times with beautiful healings and stuff. And so we can create our own dolls for any purpose that we want and we need. And if you can't do it with cloth or clay, you can do paper dolls, and you can, color them or whatever. I mean, just any way you see fit. Dolls are beautiful. You can make a doll out of a sock. You really can. And one day I would like to get into that, showing you how to make these dolls from socks, from cloth, anything that you have in your house. And I say this with love, because a lot of the spirits and stuff that possess these dolls are spirits that have lived and have died in the physical realm, but they continue to be here in the spiritual realm. Like I said again, there are so many waiting for any given reason. And so that's another thing that we can do. We can create dolls for, our own love for them, and they are love for ourselves. For so many reasons. Like I said, prosperity dolls. You got dolls of healing. You got dolls of protection. And you got dolls for just knowledge and wisdom. And you can just go on and on. Nature dolls. Dolls that are made out of sticks and stuff. Stuff that you pick up from outside, leaves and stuff like that. And they add so much beauty, love, and they enhance us in so many ways when they are on our altar. That's another beautiful place to put one. And we all want to make sure we have an altar somewhere in our homes. Be back in just a sec.